Okay, come on autofocus. How you going? Yeah, we go.
Awesome. Good morning, my name's Jem from Like Butter. I'm going to take you through how I build a kit of parts from scratch, just a few of the key steps and takeaways, and how I think about it as I'm going, and hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to get started. I've got a standard kit of parts here. The only non-standard bit I've got is one of these curved shelves, which I'd like to try and integrate. But other than that, all stock components from a single kit. Have a look at that 9 Ways to Kitter PDF just to get a sense of what sort of shape and width you want to aim for. But the best place to start is just get 4 short dowels and put some feet in them. I do recommend just a little bit of wax on those threads. It'll just make your life easier and make it much easier next time. I've got 4 feet and short dowels ready to go. Now, I'm just going to freeform this. Other than integrating that curved shelf, I don't really have a plan of where I'm headed. The first one can be the most awkward because it's not going to freestand, so I'm just going to go to the medium dowel. Don't go crazy. You can over torque these threads. They are just timber. Just firm, gentle until it feels tight, until there's no wobble. That's all you need, no more. Just sit that on the ground and have a think. So I would like a short shelf there, which means I'm going to need a short and a medium. Jump in there, pop a couple of shorts on there. If the one underneath is spinning, just hold it with your hand. Now, in that situation, where you've got a thread that isn't starting easily, just brush the 2 parts, give it a blowout, make sure you've got some beeswax on there. Just gently. There we go. I need a medium, 2 mediums with feet. There you go. Looks fine. Now you'll notice I've left supports out of this side. You've got the option to put short legs in there, but if you really want to expand your set and get the maximum real estate out of the parts available, then you don't have to use every spot. If you've got really heavy hooks or objects and you're worried about a bit of deflection in these shelves, then sure, put them in every spot. But I find even with quite dense heavy objects on the shelves, there's very little deflection in these birch ply shelves. I think I'm going to have the curve probably just coming out of that end into the corner. So we'll go another short Lovely. Now that's the longest dowel. Just check as you go if it's going to work for you. Bear in mind a set only comes with 2 long dowels. You can of course get extras on our website, but if you're trying to achieve results with a standard kit, there are so many configurations you can make with a standard kit of parts. Too many to count. Okay, I've got my feet in there. They're sitting there. I need to get a short shelf cooking in there to make that work. So short, medium. The key takeaway here is going to be that. Holding the next shelf roughly in place and just checking what you can do. That's what I love about this, is you can just make it up as you go. You'll notice I've already set myself into a corner here in terms of what I'm going to do. So I can't do that because I don't have 2 long dowels I can pop in there. What I could do is rethink how this corner works. Okay, so I'm going to swap out these long ones. If I wasn't freeforming this, if I was following one of the 9 Ways to Kitter instructions, I could probably save myself some time. But this is more fun. Okay, so for my corner shelf, I've worked out that I'll need shorts. Okay, so remember you don't have to use every hole available. You can get a bit more creative. Work out where you can get away with leaving some dowels out. I love seeing photos of what you've done where you've decided that you don't need a dowel in that corner or in that spot. Obviously, create something that feels stable and safe, but keep playing with it and see what you can do. Okay, so I've really done the hardest part now. I've got my base layer configured. I know that I've got enough dowels to get up to the next level. Now that I've got that base level sort of locked in and I'm reasonably happy with it, confident that I can keep going up, I'm just going to shimmy that roughly back into position. You don't have to be in the final spot, it's not that heavy, you can shuffle it around. You could throw in. If you've got exposed dowel heads like this, and you finish that layer, grab a couple of end caps, top caps. Now this little guy, only use it if you're stuck. Really, you shouldn't need this at any point. It's only if you get a foot or a top cap stuck and you can't undo it by hand. So you can jump in there and give these a little bit of torque, but there's really no reason to. You just risk stripping the thread, so avoid using that. It's just there as a last resort. If you're trying to disassemble it and you find a top cap's really stiff, then sure, by all means. Lovely. Now I'm down to my last short shelf. Again, remember, before you jump too far ahead, just hold the shelf in place. I've got plenty of short dowels left. If you're doing this sort of configuration, you don't need anything under there. Just let that shoulder sit down into the rebate nicely. You could theoretically use one of the feet to retain that, but there's really no need. Just let that weight bear down into the shoulder. Once everything's snugged up, it'll feel great. Some caps in there. You may find yourself wondering why there's parts left over. The number of parts in the kit is to allow a great deal of flexibility in the different forms you can make. There was not an intention to make, one perfect configuration that uses every single part. If you do manage to find that you've built one using every single component, please send us a photo because I haven't seen that yet. Here's my final long shelf. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a corner. So remembering the corner was the only non-standard part that I was going to use. You can do fun things like use some of your extra dowels as a plant somewhere to hook a plant around, or as a coat rack, headphone hook. Final thing I need to do is grab my caps and just work my way through and pop those on. Now, the way I put this together, I have run out of top caps because I've got so many exposed dowels as I've gone up. You can always order more on our website, or you can do that trick that I said before, and then you've got a flush top. Managed to find one more medium dowel, one more foot as I was finishing up. So I will add that into the corner just for peace of mind. Alrighty, so I've got a whole bunch of short dowels left over. You may find, looking at your configuration, that you've got some spare spots. I ran out of caps earlier, but I could put a couple of extra dowels in there and secure it up. I didn't think of that as I was going, but now looking at it again, I'm going to go back and just add those in. I may as well use these parts. It will make everything a little bit more stable. Alrighty, bit of a rejig there just to maximise the parts available. I now only have 2 short dowels left. Happy with that. Remember, with these caps, just finger tight. There's no need for anything further. Spare parts, pop them away for safekeeping somewhere. You may want that next time you're doing a reconfiguration. You'll definitely want those extra dowels, and come the time you may need this little spanner just to loosen a tight cap or foot or something like that. Okay, now get it into final position. Now snug that back into the wall. Now use your adjustable feet if your floor levels aren't great. Get that all looking lovely and snug, and you are good to go. In all seriousness, please don't climb on the furniture, and if you've got small people, or there's the potential for small people in your home at any time, please secure any freestanding furniture to the wall. It's really important for us to be able to sleep at night, and just makes the world a safer place. Thank you. Oh yes, bit of this, bit of that.